Alright, welcome back to the video, or the vlog, or the internet. Which logo do you like better? So we have this one. Okay, you're just looking at this top one right here, right? So we've got kind of the purple background. They're all the same, but then the whitish background, and then this like pink one. I ended up going with this one, and then boom, boom, boom. Now I'm kind of reconsidering, but I chose this one, but maybe this one looks better. Um, Either way, who the fuck cares, dude? It's just a logo. I think I spent like way too long on this. I think I spent like an hour and a half on this logo right here, and it's small. It's meant to be small. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I got a couple things on my mind. I know no one's gonna watch this, so I'm gonna take the filter off and just say some wild shit. Just kidding. But I've collected $300 for my SaaS so far, and I have written a single line of code, but I haven't shipped anything. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that I'm like getting kind of nervous about like AI because, dude, I saw this meme that was like, you know that meme of like the black dude who's like, and then the next one is like it's like something that makes him happy, but then he realizes like it's scary, and it was like basically Grok or Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet came out yesterday, and it was like AI can do 90% of my software engineering job, and the guy was like, and then the next frame was like, AI can do 90% of my software engineering job, and he's like, um, I was a doubter. Not gonna lie, I was a doubter, and maybe it's just kind of the stuff I'm seeing on the internet, but there's this thing called vibe coding, where you just fucking let the vibes carry you, and you just let the AI do everything, and you just tell it what to do and tell it when stuff is broken, and um, it like it kind of works now, especially for like very basic projects. Like you still have to think about the user experience, and you do need like some degree of kind of finesse where you're not just like build me this product, it's not working. Like you can do that, but but at a smaller scale. Like it's not going to be like production ready, and you're not going to be able to turn it into much of a business unless you get really lucky. So I think for the time being it's good, but I really think SaaS is like going downhill in terms of an opportunity, um, for I guess like me and you. I think that if you have specific domain knowledge, like if you work in a funeral home and you're like, gosh, I wish I could automate, this process that no one's heard of, then you just go to fucking Claude Code, which is something else they released, and you go, hopefully you know how to use a terminal. I'm sure ChatGPT will just do it for you. And you go, hey, I need this thing automated, and it builds it for you. And I think I heard that in China, they don't really have internal tools, or sorry, they don't have like platform SaaS. Like you think of Salesforce, Slack, HubSpot. Um, I mean, there's a billion of these solutions. And in China, they don't really have them because labor is cheaper, and so they just build their own internal tools. And I think that's where we're heading, like for sure. And so when I'm when I see a problem in a certain industry and I go to solve it with software, normally that would require a lot of expertise, and like I have to know how to code and like make it performant and all this stuff. But in the future, anyone who has a problem and thinks it can be solved with software, as long as they have the bandwidth to realize that, they can basically execute on it and solve their own problem. And so for cheaper. I don't know what this really means for, the long term, but like less money kind of flowing around in the economy potentially. And yeah, I mean like people are already losing their jobs. Like if you were writing SEO blogs, I literally saw a video where it's like some guy wrote articles for like a business, like just SEO articles, and you could argue that that's already a pretty, I guess, like low skill kind of thing. You have to know how to speak English, but it's not like you're writing for the New York Times. You're writing for a blog just to like get like clicks. Um, But he said his employer like stopped sending him, like giving him work, and they were still cranking out articles, and he realized they were all written by AI, and so he was like, "Fuck, I lost my job to AI." And I have a client who I'm like building this product kind of for his niche, and the other day he shows me this thing that he built using Data Button, which is a pretty cool tool in a similar kind of category, and he was like, yeah, I just told it what to do, and I don't even know what React or I think it was like a Create React app, like not even Next.js. It was literally just like pure React. And it ended up built like this bitchin' app. Like it would take me like a couple weeks to crank out an app like this, just kind of in my methodical way. But because he knew exactly what he wanted, and because he didn't have to try to productize it, it was only for him and his team. Like he knew what to build, and so he could be much more efficient with the building process. And so that made me realize, like, wow, this is actually kind of significant, you know. And so right now, AI, the context link still isn't really there. There's lost in the middle problem. There's these kind of myriad of issues that add up to larger products and code bases just can't really be maintained by AI. You fix one thing, you break another, and it's slower in the long run, I think. But yeah, this is definitely where things are going, and I don't know. I don't think SaaS is like a long term play anymore. People have been saying this for a while. I'm not saying anything revolutionary, but now I'm kind of finally agreeing. Um, and does this logo look better than this one? I actually kind of like this logo now. I might switch to this one. That one looks pretty sick. These two together. That one's overkill. Maybe. But that one looks kind of sick. Um. Anyways, but yeah, so back to my point, like 10 points ago. I collected $300 upfront for my SaaS, which is kind of like idea validation. Like, you basically have a theory that there's some problem that you can solve, and people will pay you for it. And instead of just going balls deep and building it, you talk to people and you try to get them to give you money for the product, for like early access to the product and kind of a discount, um, to provide value because the product's not ready, but you're validating your idea. This isn't a complicated concept, um, but I think that's kind of gonna be like an invaluable skill, because if the speed of building goes towards zero, um, then the moat isn't gonna be like building things fast and being a good executor. I mean, there's still going to be marketing stuff to do, which might, funny enough, take longer to, or funny or not funny, might take longer to automate. Um, but yeah, I think like if you can spot an opportunity and really validate it, then you can. Like, here's one thing that is not going away is like Twilio. Twilio has a moat in kind of their like, I don't know how it works, but they have phone numbers. That's black magic as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea how phone numbers work, or getting them verified with the government or A2P. Like, there's so much shit around that's just completely wild. And so they have a moat, and they're not going to get replaced by AI. And so in the future, if you can see an opportunity like Twilio, kind of like these foundational providers like OpenAI is an example. As long as you don't become commoditized, and you can build a moat, then that's an actual opportunity. So I think you have to be able to spot, validate, and execute on these ideas, and most importantly, spot and validate, because those are the things that other people won't do. Um, Maybe spot, validate, build, and then sell. So selling, executing basically is the thing that's going to zero. And so the moat shifts, you know. Not that like the moat with SaaS has always been, the quality of the product, because God knows like plenty of products that are good fail. But if you can kind of figure out like how to position it, you know, and then how to sell it as well, um, then all you need is the product, and so that's not going to stop you anymore. I'm just kind of rambling. I haven't done a video like this in forever, but I watched a video today where this guy was like, "You got to build an audience." So I'm building an audience, bro. Do you feel like you're part of my audience now? I can't believe you're still watching. Honestly, you must be like doing something else, because I can't imagine you just like, this is really good stuff. This is a really good video. you know, no offense. You know, if anything, I'm offending myself. But anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.